Hello, friends. It is Miss Gallahue here for today's reading lesson. As it is loading, let's make sure that we are ready to focus. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Remember, friends, while we are watching our video, your eyes are on the screen, you are listening, and if we ask a question, you are answering it out loud, even if we can't hear you. So we're going to start by going over some new letters. We've been talking all about letters for the past few weeks as we start first grade, and today we're going to talk about two new letters, their name and their sound. So let's take a look. What do you notice about all of these words? Vase, van, violin. Listen again. Vase, van, violin. What sound do you hear at the start of those words? V. What letter makes that V sound? The letter V. The letter V says V, V, violin. Say it with me. V, V, violin. Awesome. Can you think of any other words that start with the letter V? Put them in your head. All right, let's look at our second letter. Listen to these words so we can figure out which letter we're talking about today. It says, what do you notice about all of these words? Quail, queen, quarter. Listen again. Quail, queen, quarter. What sound do you hear at the start of all of these words? We hear qu, qu. Very good. And what letter makes that qu, qu sound? The letter Q. So the letter Q is at the start of our words quail, queen, and quarter. Q says qu, qu, queen. Say it with me. Qu, qu, queen. Very good. So this week and today we talked about non-fiction books. Now remember, a nonfiction text or an informational text is something that tells us facts or it explains something to us. These books and texts and articles are about real people, places, animals, or things, or events, or lots of other stuff. They tell us about things that are real and that happened. So nonfiction books tell, inform, teach, and explain. We can use them to learn new things about the world and about other people. Nonfiction texts are also called informational texts because they inform us, they give us information about real things. So we might read a nonfiction text about Malala, about Ruby Bridges, or about butterflies, or lots of other awesome things. So let's go over what you might see in a nonfiction book. Nonfiction books have real pictures in them. So here we see real picture of the coral reef. We see lots of fish and some plants under the ocean. So nonfiction books have real pictures, and they also give us facts. It tells us information, things that are real. So for example, we might say, did you know there are over 20,000 different types of fish in the ocean? That's a fact. That's some new information for us to learn. Something else nonfiction books might have are labels. So here, if you take a look, here we see a little arrow pointing to a fish and a box that says fish. It tells us what is in the picture. Labels tell us what we see in the picture, so it can help us understand things better. So today we're going to read a nonfiction book together called Let's Save Energy. And this book was written by Jenna Lee Gleisner. And this book doesn't have an illustrator because nobody was drawing the pictures. Someone took pictures with a camera of real people doing real things. Let's save energy. I know in science you talked all about energy from the sun. So today we're going to talk about how we can save energy to help our planet stay beautiful and clean and working for everybody who lives here. Let's start. Let's save energy. The first chapter is called Unplug. Let's save energy. Why? It helps keep Earth clean. Notice that there are real pictures of a real child in a mountain and a real child turning off their TV. How can we help? Jack turns the light off when he leaves the room. He does not leave it on. That's a great way to save energy. We always want to make sure we turn off the light when we're not in a room. Grant helps make dinner. He closes the refrigerator. He does not leave it open. If you ever help make dinner at your house, give me some moose ears if you're helping. So we want to remember that while we're helping cook dinner or while we're getting a snack, we make sure that our refrigerator stays closed. Cars can pollute. That means make the air dirty. Alex bikes to school. Eve walks. So if you're going somewhere that's close enough for you to walk, that's one way to help save energy. Zoe and her mom do not run the dryer. They hang clothes. The air and sunshine dry them. Nice. If you dry your clothes on a long string like that, or you leave them out to dry instead of using a dryer, tap your nose. That's another great way for us to save energy. May helps put in new light bulbs. They use less energy. That's a new fact. Did you know that new light bulbs, called energy-saving light bulbs, save more energy than our old light bulbs? That's a pretty cool piece of information. And notice how the book gave us a label here to show us that these are energy-saving light bulbs that May is using in her new lamp. That's helpful. That tells us what we're looking at. We use solar lights. The sun powers them. They light our yard. You learned all about solar energy in science, so this was a good reminder. Solar lights, the sun powers them. And here we have another label telling us what is in this picture. It says solar lights. So now I know that this is a solar light. I didn't know what they looked like before. I'm learning a lot in this book. We can turn off our screens. We play outside instead. It is fun. You can save energy too. How will you do it? So this book is asking a question. What is one thing that you can do to save energy? Think in your brain right now. What's one thing you can do to save energy in your home? Tell me your answer out loud. I hope I get to hear all about our energy saving tips during class tomorrow. One thing I know I'm going to do more is keep the lights off in my classroom. The big windows in my classroom keep it nice and bright, so I don't need to turn the lights on. I can keep them off to save energy. So let's take a look. We read a nonfiction book. So let's check to see if it has the things we know nonfiction books have. Did this book have real pictures? Yes or no? Yes, it did. So we put a check mark. It had real pictures. Did this book teach us facts about energy? Yes, it did. So it gets a check mark. Did this book have labels on the pictures? Yes, it did. So it gets a check mark. So this shows us our amazing nonfiction book taught us so many things using their pictures, facts, and labels. Awesome. So today for your independent practice, we're going to do a little fiction, nonfiction practice and some phonics. So on the top of your page, it says circle if the book is fiction or nonfiction. Remember, fiction means it is not real. Nonfiction means it is real. So on your page, you're going to circle if The Three Little Pigs is a fiction or a nonfiction book. Then down below it says A Frog's Life, and I see a real life frog on the front. You're going to circle if this book is fiction or nonfiction. At the bottom it says color the word that matches the picture. So here we have a box, a fox, pop, and got. There's a boy picking an apple. He got the apple. So you're going to color in the word that matches. I am so excited to see all of your hard work and learn more about how you're going to save energy at home tomorrow. We'll talk soon, my friends. Have a great day.